Hey guys, welcome back to another video. You may be watching this on Christmas Eve, but if you aren't, I'm filming this on Christmas Eve, so I'm fingers crossed it's going to be a quick one, nice and easy for you to digest. But I wanted to talk about this topic because when I did those postals where I bought from my customers, I noticed a few things which I would definitely recommend you not doing. It was mainly from one person in particular, I'm not going to name them, but I just thought it's definitely some things that I think you guys should avoid if you're doing postals. So if you're watching this on Christmas Eve, I hope you have a lovely Christmas tomorrow. If you've already passed Christmas and you're watching this at a later date, then I hope you had a lovely Christmas. I'm in my Christmas jumper. I've also had a few beverages, so I'm a little bit merry, but I wanted to get this done before Christmas Day. So the postal do and don'ts, it's mainly for Etsy sellers, but obviously if you have a website it will probably be fairly relevant. So I've split it into kind of like 4 categories, or maybe like 5. So we're going to run through them, and fingers crossed it's easy enough for you to understand. And yeah, it's just some things that I would recommend, things that I've noticed. I've never bought from other small businesses before when it comes to actually baking like baked goods, so I definitely found that there were some things which I'd never noticed before. And even from myself, I was like, wow, I need to do a few things like this, because I was like, that's a really good way of working. So there's definitely some things that you can improve. So I would recommend anyone to buy from other businesses that are like-minded, so whatever industry you're in. Obviously don't copy people directly, take inspiration, but it also kind of opens your eyes to be like, this is how they run their business, this is how they work, package, post their stuff, and also see how it's presented. Because I opened some of these boxes and I was like, wow, that's better than mine, and then I was like, I want to make mine better. So you definitely notice a few things. Right, first one. This is my number one, because I had a discussion with this person that I bought from. So I ordered some baked goods. The first batch didn't arrive. So we're talking about postage here is number one. The first batch didn't arrive. They sent out another one. So obviously you're losing money there. They were sent first class. And yeah, like I say, they lost the first one, and then the second one arrived. But it actually arrived the day after they posted it. So this is a classic example of first class. So some first class parcels come literally the day after, and some take weeks to arrive. So it's very, very inconsistent, and also there's no guarantee. So it depends on whether a place is busy, like a particular region of the UK is busy, or wherever you are, and that will accelerate or kind of like make things take longer. So I would just recommend not bothering with first class and just get tracked. I know everyone thinks because it's more expensive, like the amount of people that say to me, yeah, but it's cheaper to do first class. I literally was in the same boat. I was sending everything first class because I was like, it's cheaper, I save money. But the key thing there is you save money, but if you charge your customer the postage, like the exact price, which is what I do, then you're not saving any money, you're not losing any money. Like, you're literally just charging them. So I charge my customers $4.80 or $5.60. $5.60 is for track 24, which is next day, and then $4.80 is track 48. People are happy to pay it, and also they get full tracking, they know exactly when it's coming, they get sent an hour slot so that they can text the driver and say whether they're not going to be in. So it's just so much easier, so much easier. And it's not even the point of you won't lose any money, because basically this seller that sent stuff to me, obviously the first parcel was lost, so she resent another one. So 1, you've had to rebake something. 2, it's the hassle of the customer not getting it when they wanted it, because I wanted this particular parcel. It arrived about 3 weeks after I ordered it, and I didn't want it anymore. I actually didn't eat them in the end. They weren't quite to my taste, and I think it was maybe the way that they were baked. They were some donuts, but I think, yeah, they weren't the best donuts that I'd had. There are a few things that we'll talk about later on, but yeah, so she had to remake them, then she had to pay for postage again, and she obviously lost the money from the first one. So although you can put in a claim with Royal Mail, it's the hassle of doing that. Like, one, if they don't rule it in your favour, then you've lost that money. Two, it's the stress and the time of doing that. Imagine if you have 10 parcels go missing in a month. That's 10 things you've got to claim for. I just don't think it's worth it. And I know there's probably some people that will continue to post first class, but what you don't realise until it actually happens is one bad review looks really bad on your page, like really bad. When I was looking at these sellers to buy from, I didn't buy from anyone that had one bad review, just because I could be the next bad review. Like, although they might have loads of good reviews, I could be the next bad one, and there was someone that said it hadn't arrived, or there was someone that said that they didn't like them. This is like various sellers, but I was just thinking, you know what, it's not worth it. I don't want it to not arrive. It's a waste of my time. It's a waste of their time if they're sending it, or if they're not sending it, if they're just taking your money and it's not arriving. So it's just not worth it. Tracking means that they have full disclosure from you because you've posted it, so then it's like you can't be ruled as doing anything wrong, because say it did go missing with tracking, which is usually quite unlikely, it means that you can say, I did post it, I've got the full tracking, like, so you're not in the wrong at that point. And also it means that if someone badges you saying where is it, you can just send them the tracking number and say, here you go, there it is. So it just is so much easier. And also, if you charge your customers the packaging, then it really doesn't make a difference whether it's £5 or £10. They are paying for it. If they're happy to pay for it, they will. Please, please do not do free postage. Like, people aren't stupid. Like, I don't really understand this, but, and it's going to sound really blunt, but like when I look through Etsy, when they all say free postage, I know it's not free. Like, even if I didn't have a postal business, I go to Royal Mail and they don't post anything for free. So everyone knows it's not free. It just means that you're either taking less of a profit, which as a small business you shouldn't be doing. Again, you want to build your customer base to be people that are happy to pay your worth, and if they're not happy to pay you something like postage, which they'll pay from ASOS or Tesco's, they'll happily pay a delivery charge, then why should they not be able to pay it to you? Like, I just don't really understand that. And also, like, everyone knows it's not free. Like, it comes up as free delivery, but it's included in the price, so it's not free. So, and also it messes up with the totals, because like if I look at, say, brownies, if I'm looking at the cheapest one, yours isn't going to be the cheapest because it's going to have like £3 postage included. But yeah, so don't give away postage for free. It's really not worth it. You will lose so much money. Two, just post stuff tracked. Like, please post it tracked. It's just really not worth it. Like when this person's parcel went missing to me and she resent it, I was like, please. Like, I literally said to her, I was like, this is friendly advice. And I said, make sure that your postal dates are correct. They're not like weeks out. Like, if you're not going to post something the next day, then don't put that you're going to post it the next day. And also, just don't send stuff first class. I said it's not worth it. I said you're losing money. I said to her, I was like, don't bother refunding me, because she was going to refund me because I said that I didn't actually want them anymore because they arrived so late. But she said, I said to her, I was like, don't worry about it. Like, I have a product. I feel bad for you because you've lost money anyway. So I was like, don't bother refunding me, but just make sure that you send stuff tracked. Like, please. It's really not hard. Please just send stuff tracked. Right, next one. This is packaging. I think this is so important, and I've definitely noticed it myself when I was ordering all this stuff from people. Put stuff in sealed packaging. Like, number one needs to be in sealed packaging. One, basically one of these donuts had jam on it, and by the time that it got to me, even though it was only next day, it just smelt funny. Like, the box smelt really funny. And I think it was just because they were open to the elements. Like, it really kind of put me off eating them, because yeah, it just smelt funny. And then the jam had also gone on to some of the other donuts, which obviously ruins the flavour of those, just because they're not individually packed. I do it with my brownie trays, I do it with chocolate slabs, like they're all in cellophane packaging. It's just, one, it keeps the air in it, so it's not like actually getting anything from the outside elements, and two, it means that they can't contaminate each other, whether it's different flavours. Three, if that box was to get wet, they would be in sealed packaging, so they'd be fine. But yeah, number one needs to be sealed, because like I opened that box and I couldn't smell the donuts. Like, they just didn't really smell of anything. Like, if I actually smelt the individual ones, you could smell it. But you know how, like, I open a box of brownies, and even though they're in sealed packaging, I can smell the brownies just because they've retained that flavour. And then you open up the cellophane bag and you just got a strong smell of brownies, which is really, really nice to open a box to. And like, I had that with some of the people that I bought from. I opened the box, as soon as I opened it I was like, that smells amazing, and that's because it's retained that smell. Whereas if you have it open, if it's stored in a cold warehouse, it's going to retain all of that like dirty air. So just make sure you send stuff sealed, and also bubble wrap, because like for example these donuts, they had no bubble wrap and half of them were like broken, like all the chocolate on them. It's really easy just to put a literal like sliver, just do a bit of bubble wrap underneath and on top if it's a tight box. Otherwise I'd recommend bubble wrap. I wrap once round my postal slabs and then I put packing peanuts in to fill the gaps so that they don't move around. Packaging is so important because if something arrives damaged, people are obviously going to be annoyed about that. So packaging, again, very important. This one is what really riled me up. Like, I felt really bad for this seller. I'm not sure if they were new. Again, I'm not naming anyone because it's the sort of thing where I look at some sellers on Etsy, some I have never spoken to before, and I look at them and I kind of feel bad, because I'm not saying that I am like the most successful postal baker. I am not. Like, I do fairly average in terms of postals, but I feel like I've learned a lot, or just have a bit more knowledge on it, even though I haven't been doing it very often. And I look through Etsy sometimes and I just feel like people are selling themselves short, whether it's pricing, postal dates, just so many things give red flags to me, which we're all going through now. But this one, posting dates, really infuriates me. So I post everything the day after it's ordered. So and I know that not everyone can do that, not everyone has the time, but if someone orders by 12, like before 12, they will get it posted the next day, and that is because I have after 12 to bake it. Some people have specific postal days, which might be like Tuesday, Thursday, but what I really dislike is when people on Etsy they say they've got stuff in stock and it says like 3 to 5 days, and then it doesn't come for 3 weeks. So like, what is that? Like, what if someone's ordering that for a birthday? Like, it's just not on. Like those donuts, I wasn't on a diet, and then literally they were meant to arrive. It had been over a week. They hadn't been posted at all. This was before they were even posted the first time that they went missing. And then by the time that they arrived, like, obviously they didn't know that I was going to be doing this, but then by the time they arrived, I was on a strict PT diet. I still am. Like, today I've had a takeaway dinner, but literally up until Christmas Eve, this morning, I've been eating like weighed meals, so I literally could not eat these donuts. So I gave them to my family. Again, like, I wanted to eat them. I wanted it to be part of that video that I did. They didn't arrive on time. Like, I just think it's really a bad thing when that happens. Posting dates, I just think is really, really important. You're telling people something is going to arrive by a date. Same, it doesn't matter who it is, whether it's Tesco's. If I book a delivery slot, I expect it to come on that day. If you tell me you're going to post and it's going to arrive within 3 to 5 days, obviously the postal service is out of your hands, but when you haven't even posted it in those 3 to 5 days, I'm going to be sat there going, I want a refund. Like, you haven't posted it. And that's what annoys me. Like, there's a lot of sellers, which I've seen lots of, where they leave stuff open-ended and then they say that they'll work through their orders. This may work for some people, but I personally, as a customer, thought that it was really unprofessional and I didn't like that way of working. I think that you should do it until you sell out. So say like this week you've got 20 orders, don't just leave your Etsy open, because then people are going to carry on ordering, and then you're going to say, well, I can only do 20 orders this week, so then those are going to have to wait till next week. And it's like, you could just open them next week. Yes, you might not have got that particular person that orders, or at least change your dates and say that they're not going to be posted this week, they're going to be posted next week because you've already got too many orders or you're sold out. Yeah, I just don't get postal dates on Etsy when they're not right. Like, just put the right date. Mine is set as 1 business day, and that is because I post 1 business day. If I don't, then I post track 24. So say like I'm running really like late and like I've got loads on, and I don't get something posted the day after when I said I would, because things are sent tracked 48, that means they take 2 days. So it means that I can then make it the day after it should have been posted, and then post it that day, but then I have to pay for track 24 because it was my mistake that it wasn't posted on time. So then I pay more money out of my bank account and pay for it to be posted track 24, so that it still gets to them, because as far as they're concerned, they ordered it in time to be arriving on that date. So yeah, I think postal dates are so important, because if someone is planning that for a particular event, then you're going to ruin that, and then they might either again leave you a bad review, which really affects your business, or they just won't buy from you again, request a refund, cancel it. Like, there could be so many options, but if it doesn't arrive on time, then they're going to be really annoyed. The last one is allergen information. So important, so important. Especially when you're sending gifts to people, like if someone's ordered on someone's behalf, like I do it all the time, people are sending them as gifts to other people, and people aren't putting allergen information in. Like, the person that they're ordering that for could have an allergen that they don't think is very serious, because a lot of the time people don't take them very seriously, and then it arrives and they have an allergic reaction, which could be terrible. Like, obviously it's bad business for you, because then they're going to come back to you and say, I've had an allergic reaction, but also it's traumatizing for them. Like, if it's a bad reaction especially, like, they don't obviously want that to happen. You don't want anything to happen. So it's just so important to include allergen information. I don't know why people don't. Even something as simple as an allergen sticker is so important. And if you forget it, then you need to give people the full ingredients. And again, like, obviously I gave this person the benefit of the doubt because of their situation, which I won't get into, but they still didn't give me the ingredients list. Like, I said to them, I was like, I need the full ingredients, because even though I don't have any allergies, and neither do my family, I still want to know. And then even after that, they said, I'm really sorry, I must have forgotten it, and then they didn't give it to me. And it's like, you need to be giving that out. Like, even if you forgot, you should be sending me a full ingredients list. And then the last one is try and be different. Like, do things that other people aren't doing. So important, because again, one thing that I didn't notice, and I'm completely changing my menu from January. Like, I'm gonna have obviously my few staple items, but I'm losing my voice because I'm talking way too much. But basically, when you go through Etsy and type in what you sell. So like, I sell brownies. Type it in on Etsy and just have a look through, because it's really surprising when you look through how many people, one, it's interesting to see the pricing, because a lot of people are underselling themselves, which I'd recommend if you are joining Etsy, rather than undercutting people, which is what a lot of people are doing. They're going, oh, they're £10, I'll be £5, and then I'll get loads of orders. But what you're not realising is you're going to lose so much money, and it's really not worth it. Like, the amount of time that you're going to put into that business, it's not going to grow because you're not going to make money, and unfortunately that's what a business needs. So I'd recommend you go through Etsy, type in something that you make, have a go through, and actually look at, one, pricing, and two, design, because it's really surprising to see how many people are doing the exact same thing. My camera died, probably because I've been talking too long, but like I was saying, please look through Etsy and type in some things that you sell, and it just will really open your eyes, because I'd never done it before. Because like I say, since I started telling everyone about like where I get my brownie trays and all this kind of stuff, obviously it gives people a very simple way of finding out that information. Obviously I did all the research to find it, but a lot of people, they've gone, right, all I need is a brownie recipe and then I can sell brownies. And obviously lockdown didn't help, so there's a lot of at-home bakers, so it's just so saturated, and it's all the same. Like, there is so much stuff on there which is just exactly the same, mine included. Obviously I started mine a lot earlier, but it looks exactly the same as everyone else's now, because There are just very similar business models out there now. So I think you really want to make sure that you're unique. Like, that's why, like I say, I've decided that it's been a year and a half now since I started, a year since I started doing postals. So I've just decided, you know what, I'm going to just revamp it all, and we're going to do different things because I want to try something new out. And also, yeah, I think we need to switch it up a bit. We need to make the shop different. We need to try different things because, like I say, it's so saturated now that you just want to make sure that you're as different as possible in order to attract the most people. So yeah, make sure you're unique. Make sure that you come up with your own ideas. Make sure that you don't, copy, but like take inspiration. So like I say with the packaging, like feel free to order from people, get a view of like what their packaging's like, and then see how you want to package yours. But yeah, but number one, charge for postage, please. Don't send anything not tracked, and also please sort out your posting dates. Like it's just so important to have accurate posting dates. Like, I would not order from a like clothing shop or something and it say next day delivery and then it comes in like a week. Like I would have ordered from somewhere else, or I would have paid for different delivery. Like, yeah, just make sure you have plenty of information on your postage and everything like that. Just make it clear. Like, if you don't post on a certain date, say that you don't post on a certain date. If you only post on Mondays, say that you only post on Mondays. Don't just leave people in the dark and say, you know, 3 to 5 days, and then it could be a week, it could be 2 weeks, because it's just very confusing. And obviously people are paying their money and they might not get that money back. So yeah, that is my do's and don'ts for postals. So I hope that was helpful. I think that answered a few questions, because I've seen various questions after I did that postals 101, God, can't speak. So hopefully that clears up any like bad things to be doing when it comes to postals. But yeah, just don't do it. Take my advice. I like to think I know what I'm doing. Yeah, just don't do it, because it will bite you in the arse, and you will end up losing money. So just, yeah, make sure that you're running your postals in a good way, not losing any money, and also not risking your reputation, because you do not want any bad reviews, because they're so detrimental. Like, the tiniest thing could go wrong and someone leave you a really, really bad review, and it will just put other people off. So you've just, unfortunately, got to try and be the best possible business owner so that you avoid ever getting a bad review. Luckily, I never have, touch wood, and I hope I never will. Anyways, guys, I'm hoping that was helpful. If I don't see you, or you don't watch my videos before the new year, then I hope that you have a lovely Christmas and a lovely New Year's. I am going to finish some cupcakes now, which are being delivered on Christmas morning, before I actually do any festivities myself. Get that out of the way, and then I am going to be off for the day, and then we start back up again on Boxing Day. So I'll be baking a cake on Boxing Day, which I'm actually looking forward to. So there will be more lives next week, so if you haven't already, please like, subscribe and hit the bell, and then you'll be notified whenever I go live or upload another video. So yeah, I'm gonna love you and leave you, and I hope that you have a lovely time celebrating Christmas. Bye.